Hi everyone, it's Nora. I wanted to talk to you today about ICE, about, Trump, our new president. He's cracking down on all the illegals. People are being deported who are here illegally. I'm all for deporting the illegals that are criminals, the ones that are raping women and children and sex trafficking, and the criminals that are killing and stealing and all those illegals. I'm all about deporting them. But there's another subject that I am very passionate about, and that is the illegals that marry people for the green card. Since Trump became president, two people have actually contacted me through Facebook Messenger. They are here illegally in the United States. One of them is from Egypt. He told me he's a Christian and that he wanted to plead asylum because the Christians are under persecution in Egypt, the Muslims. He said that they were trying to kill him. So somehow he went from Egypt to Mexico and then crossed the border from Mexico into the United States. He now lives in my state, Oregon, and he attends a church that I'm familiar with. And he doesn't have any papers. He's working under the table to survive. He lives in a house with a bunch of other illegals. He is working on getting here, staying here. So at least he's going through the process of working to staying here and pleading asylum, stating that his life was threatened in Egypt. So as long as he's going through immigration, that's fine. But he actually wants to get married. I had a long enough conversation with him to know that he wants to get married. And that would be because he's desperate and because he doesn't know if him pleading asylum is going to work. So now he's on a pursuit to get married. This guy's probably in his 30s. And I told him, sorry, I hope everything works out for you, but I'm not the person that's going to marry you to give you papers. Because there's too much involved with that. If you marry somebody for papers, you're their co-signer, and there's just too much involved with immigration. Immigration is going to show up at your door to make sure that you're married together. They're going to show up at your door at 7 o'clock in the morning to make sure that they're going to wake you up. Hopefully that you two are sleeping together. They're going to make sure you're there at 7 in the morning. You're going to have an interview with them. You're going to go down to immigration. They're going to pull you aside into different rooms and they're going to interview you about him and him about you. And if you don't pass, he isn't going to be approved to stay in the United States of America. And on top of it, as you know, most of the people who watch my videos have been used for the green card. The guy pretends to love her or him and then divorces her or him after he gets his papers. Another guy that contacted me, he was from Bolivia, and he also was working under the table in here illegally, claiming asylum. Somehow he was able to cross over the border in Mexico and made it here in the United States, but he was living in a different state. I forget what it was, but he was wanting to get married too. And I made sure I told him, sorry, I'm not the person for you. I am not going to marry somebody that's here illegally. It puts a lot on my shoulders, trying to fight and advocate for somebody who's here illegally to have them stay. Who wants to use me, taking that chance. No, people, be aware right now that there are a lot of illegals that are trying to find someone to marry so they can stay here. There's a lot of it. The percentage rate is so much higher right now because of Trump and ICE cracking down and deporting illegal people. So I know that there are some people who are being deported, and it's a sad, sad story. I don't know all of the legalities, but I know that my daughter said that 2 of her friends were deported back to Mexico. And I know that there's some sad stories involved in that. I don't know all the details. So I can't get into that, but I'm only advocating for the people that are trying to use people for the green card to stay in the USA. So be very careful. If they don't have their papers, if they're here illegally, if they're working under the table and they want to get married quickly, just know that most likely you're going to be used because desperate people do desperate things. Bye for now.